God bless. Can I help you?
I'd like to make you an offer. I've been appointed bailiff of Pribyslavitz. We're resettling the place and I need a huntsman there. What do you say?
Ah, Henry. I'm already Sir Divish's master huntsman. That'd be a step down for me. Sorry, but you'll have to find someone else. Take care.
Master Huntsman, is there any work for me here?
There's always something that needs doing. You're that Skalitz lad, aren't you? Sir Radzig's lackey.
That'll be me.
Right. I saw you here shortly after the attack. My word, to get away from Talmberg like that, quite remarkable. It's clear you're not easily scared. So I do have a job for you.
I'm listening.
We've been having terrible problems with poachers lately. In Sir Divish's forests, we've been finding gutted entrails of deer and rabbit nooses all over the place. But no sign of the bastards who put them there.
And you want me to track down the poachers?
Indeed. Whatever you learn will be useful to me.
Do you suspect anyone?
Well, it's hard to say, but seeing how much harm they're causing, I'd say they're no crofters looking for a Sunday roast.
Shouldn't you be dealing with the poachers yourself?
I should, you're quite right. But when I ask the local folk anything, their mouths close up like clams. They're more scared of me than the devil.
Do you think the locals are in on it?
Well, I don't know, maybe. But even if not, they'll never talk to me. They're scared I'll dig some skeleton out of their cupboard. You know, the smaller the village, the bigger the secrets. That's why I need an outsider to ask for me.
I understand. I don't have time for that.
Very well. Then come. Good luck, then.
About that?
Yeah.
I'll try to...
Certainly. Ask around the village. Somebody must have seen or heard something. And it wouldn't hurt to ask in the inn in the glade, the one on the road towards Neuhof. I've heard they serve good venison, and no shortage of it.
That's clear enough. As soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Thanks for your help, lad. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Ah. Good afternoon.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
If you ask me, there's some questions best left unanswered. But go and see Elena if you're determined. That old gossip will tell you all there is to know. God be with you.
Hey.
Yeah!
God save me.
Would you know of any way I could earn a bit of coin around here?
As it happens, I was just going to tell you about a job.
So, tell me.
Now and again, the fisherman from Talmberg comes around here with some game to sell. There's more and more poaching going on there, and they're always looking for new people, if you're interested.
They tell me there's a shortage of poachers.
There isn't. Only their chief is, well, not an easy man to get on with.
Why's that?
He's a strange one for a poacher. He's got ideas, and not just about how to make coin. But you'll see for yourself soon enough.
That won't be for me.
As you wish. Come back if you change your mind.
Do you know of any way I could earn a bit of coin around here?
As it happens, I was just going to tell you about a job.
So, tell me.
Now and again, the fisherman from Tom.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Then find a fellow in Tomberg who goes by the name of Black Bluefish. I think he lives on the hill above the castle. Tell him I sent you.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
My humble greeting.
I'd like to find out about the poachers.
I don't have time for gossip. Take care.
God watch over. God bless.
God bless. Can I?
I'd like to find out about the poachers around here who've been stealing game recently.
What about them?
Well, I wondered if you've got any idea who might be doing it.
Tom of the Baths was mouthing off in the tavern, that's all I know.
Coming.
Goodbye.
Here. Enjoy it.
God's sake.
I'd like to find out about the poachers around here who've been stealing game recently.
I don't know anything about it. But if I were you, I'd speak to Martha, the innkeeper's wife. She knows all the goings-on around here. You can find her at the tavern. God be with you.
I'd like to find out about the poachers around here who've been stealing game recently.
Don't ask me. Talk to the blacksmith's Betty. She's the one who claimed she saw them feasting in the woods.
I see. Thanks. I'll go and ask.
Goodbye.
What do you need?
I'd like to find out about the poachers around here who've been stealing game recently.
I don't know anything about that, but if it's gossip you're after,
Here, just
go and
as
speak
you
to
would.
Brother, the tanner. He always spins a good yarn. You'll find him at the end of the village, the last house on the way to the quarry. God be with you.
I hope I can be...
Goodbye.
God save you, good. God be with you.
You already talked.
No.
So go and...
God, you look God be with you.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you? Take care. I'm at your service. Goodbye. What the hell was that?
God's blessings. God be with you.
Good God, you look terrible.
I heard you have poacher trouble.
Who's there?
Why would someone just toss their cats in the woods? Doesn't make sense.
What in
Well, the wagging tongues say they're just doing it to spite the huntsman.
Do you have any idea who the poachers could be?
If I knew, the bastards would be strung up by now.
Don't tell me you've heard nothing at all.
Well, I did hear that Thomas, that fellow who works at the bathhouse, was mouthing off recently, saying he'd go and bag himself some game and lay on a right feast for the village girls.
I see. Has anyone seen those poachers with their own eyes?
No, just the dead game they leave behind. But Blacksmith Betty saw some goings-on in the woods.
Goings on? What's that supposed to mean?
Well, that's what she said, and I ain't one to pry.
Why would anyone want to take revenge on the huntsman?
He's not the best-liked man in the village. We all know that. And then there are those who say Hanekinheho is back.
Who's Hanekinheho?
You're not from around here, are you? The hare's quite the Talmberg legend. He used to be master huntsman here once, but then he ran off.
Why did he run?
Well, it just so happens I know the answer to that. Some big important nobleman came to Talmberg around then, and they made a grand occasion of it. And in the midst of it all, Hare had a falling out with some man-at-arms and knocked him in the moat. The poor bugger broke his neck. They picked the Hare up, but before they could take him before the court, he vanished.
Why take revenge on Master Huntsman Nicholas?
Because of Nicholas's wife, Margaret. Hare had his eye on her back then, but she didn't care for him and he was fuming. Well, and after he disappeared, Nicholas got his post.
Jeez.
Where did he run to?
No one really knows. They say he's hiding in secret tunnels beneath the castle, but that's all fairy tales. It's been years. As I see it, he's underground all right. 6 feet down and cold.
I want to ask about some... Thanks.
Good luck then.
God, what happened to your clothes? If you were robbed, you should report it.
I've got a few questions about these poachers.
So ask.
I heard you saw something fishy in the forest.
That's right, I did.
Can you describe what you saw?
It was after dark, I remember that. I went up past the castle along by the clearing, and I saw someone had lit a fire, and there were figures singing and dancing, and I could hear the whistling of a pipe. And I could smell roast meat. It was like a feast of some sort. Only I thought maybe it was some witch's Sabbath, so I was afraid to stay too long in case they saw me.
Did you recognize anyone there? Someone from the village, maybe?
No. Like I said, it was dark. All I could see was shadowy figures moving around.
Did you hear any familiar voices?
No. But I heard girls' laughter, goblets clinking, a piper playing. It sounded just like any feast.
Where is the clearing?
A short walk north of the castle. There's a track past the woodcutter's camp that takes you there.
Thanks. What do you make of this poaching that's been going on?
It's clear as day. Hanekinhere's back. And putting those antlers on Nicholas's house? Well, we all know what that means, don't we? It's the sign of a cuckold, you mark my words.
You mean to say his wife's cheating on him?
All I'm saying is she might be feeling the urge. It happens in the best of families.
Well, you're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumours.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
You were singing a different song not long ago.
So? Why do you want to know so much, anyway?
It's nothing to you, but I'm helping Nicholas unmask that local poaching gang.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. And you also know not to keep anything from me. So, what's the story with that Hare?
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discover. So, out with it.
It's to do with Margaret, his wife. They say it's all because of her.
Keep going.
I know full well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to?
And what did they speak about?
I don't know, but if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh no, Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
Well, you're the first who's...
Well,
I'll keep...
I know full well...
What did she...
That...
Who's this Hanekinhere, anyway?
Hanekinhere? There was a time he was master huntsman here, and Margaret was set to be his wife. But then he got himself accused of murder and fled before they could hang him. Margaret and his job both ended up going to Nicholas.
So what's the story between Hare and Margaret?
It was complicated. He wanted her and she wanted him too, I reckon. At least for a while. But then she hitched up with Nicholas and now she says she never had a thought of wedding Hanekinhere.
So what went on between Hare and the huntsman?
Those two? There was no love lost between them from the moment Hare arrived. And then Margaret got involved. It was a messy business.
Do you think Hare really killed that man?
Who knows the truth of it now? I did find it all a bit odd. Hare never was much of a hothead. But then again, no one really knew him that well. And Margaret never wanted to speak of it. Wouldn't hear a word about it.
That's all I need. Thanks.
Good luck then.
Yeah. Yeah. Andrew, the innkeeper, sent me. Said you had a job for someone who's good with a bow.
Did he now?
So how can I prove it to you?
For a start, you can tell me why a lad like you wants to join us.
I've heard it could earn me some decent coin.
Yeah, that's what I used to think. Only it's not quite that simple.
Why's that?
You'll find out for yourself. Anyway, I have to check you out first. See if you're any good.
I'm listening.
To begin with, I need to know if you're at home in the woods. And if you're any kind of hunter. Bring me some deer antlers, and then we'll talk.
Easy.
I was beginning to worry you'd got lost in the forest.
Yeah, no need to worry. I would have come back sooner, but it seemed a long way to go for just the one.
Well, well, so you're keen on hunting. I like that, lad. So give me the trophy, and the first task of your trial is done.
The first task?
Well, there was only one to begin with. But then I thought you could do something else for us.
I see. So what do you want me to do next? Kill a dragon? Catch a water sprite?
Hilarious. Better listen up, lad. Nicholas the huntsman has a very fine old hunting horn. But we'd like Nicholas better without any horns. Understand?
Wait. What's all this about?
Nothing to worry yourself with now. Get the horn, and we'll have a bit of fun.
All right. So where is this horn?
Sometimes he carries it with him. It is a badge of office, after all. But I don't suppose he sleeps with it. Best to go at night and have a look around his lodge. It's on the hill above the village, opposite the castle. Come back to me as soon as you've got the horn. I can't wait to see the look on Nicholas's face.
Right. I'll get
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is certainly no time for roving.
Yeah.
How are you?
How are you doing?
Trade is booming. Hard work makes people thirsty, and there's plenty of hard work in these parts. You know, it's the first time since all those terrible things happened that I feel like I belong somewhere. Thank you, Henry.
You won't believe it, but I found Bianca's cross.
Really? How did you find it?
It's a long story.
And?
It's yours. Take it.
Thank you, Henry. This is the only memory I have of them. How much do I owe you?
If you can spare a little something, then that's all I need.
Of course, Henry. I definitely won't skimp on you. Good luck, then.
Hey!
My humble greet.
So, how does being a tavern maid suit you?
Well, my back aches at the end of the day, same as when I was carrying sacks of flour. But at least here I have people to chat with, and the fellers here are nice. Good luck then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
God be with you.
God grant you heaven.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
What's that?
I don't know any.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted...
I said I don't know any. If you want to know anything, go see Blacksmith's Betty. She saw them feasting in the woods.
Feasting?
That's all I know. But don't worry, she'll talk your ear off. God be with you. Good health to you.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
If I were you, I'd ask Thomas, the bath hand. He was boasting in the tavern about how he was off to the woods for some game. Good luck then.
You want something from me, do you?
Good health to you. God be with you.
God preserve you. Good night. Can I do something for you?
I heard there are poachers in the woods round here.
If only if it was just poachers. It's that sorcerer Hare. He's the one who's been running amok. I said he'd be back, and I said he'd be vengeful, and I was right both times.
Tell me something about Hanekinheor.
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one day. No one rightly knew where from. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son, and so he got the office of Master Huntsman, and Margaret was promised him for his wife. Nobody could have known he was a sorcerer.
And how did his sorcery reveal itself?
Well, he was able to vanish into thin air in the forest right in front of folk. And I've heard it said he spoke to animals, too, though I don't know the truth of it.
Well, doesn't sound very convincing to me.
That's because you've not seen his marksmanship. It wasn't natural, the things he could do with that bow of his. They say he sold his soul for the gift of it.
I see. How did it go with Margaret?
I'm not one to gossip, but she was a flighty lass in her younger years. She could never make up her mind which one she wanted, the Hare or Nicholas. So in the end, fate decided for her.
What do you mean? What happened with Hare?
Oh, that was quite something. And then some on top of it. Sir Henry of Lipo was visiting here at the castle, and Hare snapped his guardsman's neck with his bare hands. Of course, they found him out. But how do you keep a sorcerer under lock and key? You can't. That's your answer. And that Satan's spawn slipped the net.
Oh well, it's quite a wild story. Any idea why he murdered the man?
No one knows, and most likely never will. But they say he was fully in the devil's power. There was a full moon, you see.
Was he actually seen killing the guardsman?
I suppose so. Else they'd hardly know who did it, would they?
That's probably true. There is one other thing I want to ask. Tell me... There is one other thing. Has anyone...
Oh, he exists all right. But he flits around in the forest like a shadow. They won't be catching him anytime soon. But Blacksmith's Betty heard some of their goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Cavorting and raising hell. Sorcery! Hare meets up with his sorcerer's apprentices, and they feast in the clearing in the woods. In the morning, they turn into ravens and scatter. Or so she says. But you'll have to ask Betty for more. Who knows what she saw? Or what she was doing there with them.
Very well. I'll ask. Who does Hare want revenge on?
Master Huntsman Nicholas, of course. When the Hare disappeared, Nicholas took his Margaret and the huntsman's posting.
So Nicholas came out of it well?
That one always knew how to land on his feet.
Tell
me. Not at all.
Goodbye.
I want to ask one more thing about those poachers.
So ask.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Mother of God. You look like you've been assaulted.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
I'm sorry, but I don't have time. You could ask Martha, the innkeeper's wife. They say she heard something about it.
God be with you.
God save you, good knight. What can I do for you? God be with you.
God's blessings.
I heard you got
In the woods and out of them. Certainly is. Maybe they want to show that
Do you think it was someone local?
I really don't know. All sorts of things get said. Hanekinheho is back, if you listen to some, and others are going on about Tom of the Baths. They swear blind he's got his fingers in it.
And what about you?
It could be anyone. There's more than one that has it in for Nicholas. And who knows what the neighbors get up to by night.
What's so suspicious about this Thomas?
Just that he was drunk and blabbering about how he was going to bring back venison from the woods.
Tell me something about Hanekinheho.
He used to be Master Huntsman here a while back. But then Nicholas got him accused of a murder, and the hare had to flee. It cost him the huntsman's rank and Margaret, too.
What happened between Hare and Nicholas, anyway?
Those two didn't get on from the start. And then that business with Margaret really set them at each other's throats.
Certainly.
But
not
it all
such a
came
great
to a
way.
head about 15 years back when Sir Henry of Lipa came to visit.
Sir Hanish's father.
Just so. There was a banquet at the castle in his honor, and in the morning they found one of Sir Henry's men-at-arms in the ditch with his neck broken. Well, Nicholas made sure the blame fell on Hanekinheor.
And what happened to Hare?
That's just it. No one rightly knows. They put him in the dungeon, but when Sir Henry's men came for him the next morning, he was gone. No one knows what became of him.
Good health.
So how did Nicholas put the blame on Hare?
Nicholas always had a viper's tongue, and events made it easy for him. That evening there'd been a right falling out between Hare and the guardsmen. Blows were struck. Well, Sir Divish didn't want any ill will with Sir Henry, so he tried to settle things as quick as he could, and Hare got the short straw.
What was going on with Margaret?
Her father promised her to Hanekin, because they seemed a good match. But Nicholas couldn't stomach that, so he did what he did.
I want to ask... Tell me something about...
He used...
I want to ask about... So why do people think Tom of the Baths is involved?
Ah, that's just nonsense. He was bragging in the tavern that he'd put on a venison feast for the village girls. Deer for the deers.
Did he?
I doubt it. He's all mouth and no trousers. But if you want to know more, ask my husband, the innkeeper. I wasn't here that evening.
That'll be all.
God be with you.
Pour me one. I hope I can...
What do you think about all the poaching lately?
What should I be thinking? If they ever catch them, Sir Divish will have them skinned alive. But for that to happen, our master huntsman would have to be made of sterner stuff.
Folk were talking about Hanekinheor.
Oh, good Lord. People do like to prattle on. Don't you go believing a word they say. It's the back of beyond here, and they'll tell any tale to spice things up a bit.
Do you think Nicholas isn't doing enough?
A master huntsman who lets poachers run wild through his woods? He's useless. He couldn't even stop them hanging a stag's head on his own house.
Right. Thank you, innkeeper. How are the Talmberg folk getting on? Is it peaceful here?
Ah.
I've heard Tom of the Baths was mouthing off in here.
So he did. He and Jack Piper were bragging about how they'd make a feast for the village lasses, that there'd be venison roast and enough beer to fill a river. And a few days later, they did come and buy a few kegs of beer from me.
Did they have anything else to say?
Not really. I told him to shut up, or someone would hear him and there'd be trouble.
And what did he say to that?
Nothing. He had more booze in him than the castle cellar. He just hiccuped and slid under the table. Piper took him off after that, thank God.
Do you suppose he meant it?
Hardly. He's nothing but a braggart.
All right, I'd best ask him myself.
Feel free to ask, but don't believe half what he says.
And who is this Jake Piper?
Well, he's Tom's best mate. A decent fellow. They call him the Piper because everywhere he goes, he's whistling on that pipe of his.
Where can I find him?
Well, most likely in the quarry. Take care. God's blessing. Take care.
Oh,
My God. God be with you.
God preserve you, good night. Can I do... God be with you.
I'm glad to see you.
I've been hearing some quite wild stories about hair.
People do prattle on. It happened a long time ago, and I've heard some crazy tales myself.
And what's your version of what happened?
Hare was a stuck-up knob. He came here with nothing to show but his bare arse. But he thought he could have anything he pointed at. All because he was of noble stock.
Whatever became of him?
Oh, you must have heard. He killed one of the armed men that served Sir Henry of Lipa, and they sentenced him to hang. Except he scapered right out of the castle dungeon.
How did he manage that?
Nobody knows, but I'll bet he had help from someone up at the castle.
And what was your wife's role in all this?
He had his eye on her, and she didn't want him. That's all. And it had nothing to do with what happened later.
I heard that he was a sorcerer.
And I've heard there's blooming roses on Rattay Gallows at Christmas. A sorcerer. Bah! Hare was a ruffian. But there was nothing supernatural about it.
That's all I need. I need your hunting horn.
What? Why, for Christ's sake?
I have the poachers hooked. If I take your horn to them, they'll welcome me like a brother.
But that horn's valuable. What if I never see it again?
Don't worry. Give it to me, and you'll get it back along with the whole gang in chains. Trust me.
All right, if I absolutely have to. But remember, if you run off with my horn, you'd better run far and fast. Here you go. Take good care of it.
I've good news, Master Huntsman. I tracked down one of the poachers right here in the village.
Excellent. Who is he?
Black Lukesh.
I might have known. That fellow has quite a reputation. All bad. And how about the rest of them?
The rest?
Black Lukesh is a ruffian and a thief, but he doesn't have the brains to organize an operation like that.
I don't know about any others so far, but I'm on the scent.
So, keep at it, and let me know when you find out more. God be with you.
God's blessing.
I'd like to ask you about hanekinheor.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to talk about that.
The thing is, every time I spoke to someone about hair, they always ended up talking about you.
But I don't.
You aren't to blame for anything, is that it? Well, I am willing to believe you, but you do know more than you're telling, and I need to hear it.
Very well. You're right. And what would you like to know about Hare?
How were things between you and Hare back then?
There was nothing between us. Hanekinheho impressed my father with all his talk of noble blood, but I couldn't stand him, and I didn't want to marry him. And then it made no odds after he ran away.
So you didn't want to? I only asked because I've heard differently.
That's village talk. Of course folk gossip. Mostly they just want to hurt Nicholas.
Did Hare really commit the murder?
God in heaven, how should I know? Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
That remains to be seen. What did you talk about in the woods with Hanekinheho?
I see Betty's mouth's been busy.
Don't blame her. I had to work hard to weasel it out of her. Now tell me.
Oh, all right. Well, it seems Hanekinheho's exile has addled his brain. He told me he'd go off with me, that he still loves me and nonsense like that.
And what about you?
What do you mean? I was so shocked, I couldn't even scream.
Is that all he told you?
He said if I change my mind, I'm to hang a garland of forget-me-nots on the house and wait for him at that place of ours.
Where was it you saw him exactly?
I wish I could tell you. The whole thing was like a fever dream. I almost got lost trying to get out of the forest. Even if I remembered, it wouldn't be any use to you. Hanekinheho moves through the forest like a ghost. He knows every tree root off by heart.
I want you to hang that garland on the lodge.
But I don't want to go anywhere with him.
You don't have to go anywhere. But tell me, where's that secret meeting place of yours?
On the way to Ujits. Back then, we used to meet by the great big beech tree, right next to the wayside shrine. There's a lovely view there, you see.
And what time will he be waiting there for you?
At dawn. What are you going to do to Hare?
Never you mind. The main thing is it will all get sorted out. And that's all that matters, isn't it?
I suppose so. Very well, then. I'll hang the garland for you.
That'll be everything.
Good luck, then.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
I'm here to find out about the poachers gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away. I don't have all day.
I heard you were yelling in the tavern that you were off to hunt some venison.
Look here. I don't know who you are, but you should watch your mouth.
I will, don't you worry. So what happened then?
What? Nothing. It was just the beer talking. I got pissed and started spouting shit. Didn't mean a word of it.
Maybe not. Blacksmith Betty saw people feasting in the woods, and she says there was a nice smell of venison. What do you know about it?
Nothing. I wasn't there.
And I don't suppose you'll tell...
No.
So?
How many times...
So, how do you account for my finding some deer antlers in your shed?
Well,
Come on. Let's hear the truth.
all right. But promise me you won't drag me into anything. All right. The truth is I did drag a deer carcass there, but I didn't do the shooting. I was given it.
That's a likely story.
Honestly, not a word of a lie. I caught the poacher just as he was skinning it.
And who might that be?
I don't know.
If you don't tell me who it was, I've no reason to believe that story of yours.
Fine. Fine. He's one of the charcoal men. I've seen him taking the charcoal to the forge. His name is Radan.
There are plenty of charcoal burners around here.
He came from the charcoal piles south of here. If you follow the creek upstream, you can't miss them.
Well, you better pray I find him, because if you've been lying to me, I'll go straight to the castle. Understood?
I'm telling the truth, I swear. I'm sure you'll find him there.
We'll see.
Good luck to you.
Flee! Yeah. Duh! Yeah. I have that horn for you.
I'm looking forward to seeing the smile wiped off Nicholas's face when he finds out. As for you, the old man says you're in.
Last time you told me that if I brought the horn, you'd finally tell me what's going on.
Let's put it this way. Our old man's had it in for Master Huntsman Nicholas for years.
Why does he have it in for him?
There's more than one reason. But the heart of it is Nicholas lied under oath and almost got him hanged.
That's a fair enough reason.
You're telling me.
What's he trying to achieve?
Do you want to know? Ask around the village what they think of the Master Huntsman. The old man is making a bigger and bigger fool of him day by day. Soon enough, the gossip will reach the ears of Sir Divish himself. And that's just what the old man wants.
It wouldn't by any chance be that hanekinheho everyone's talking about, would it?
Hear ye, hear ye. The lad is smarter than he looks. It is him, as it happens. What have you been hearing about him?
I've heard all sorts of things. Some people said he's a sorcerer who can talk to animals.
I'll have to tell Hannikin that one. It's no surprise, though. To this day, folk can't get their heads around that escape of his.
And how did he make his escape?
What do I know? He's never told anyone. Anyway, if you want to know the details, ask him yourself.
It wouldn't by any chance...
Hear ye?
They said he killed some man-at-arms and fled.
Who keeps spreading those lies? Some folk haven't the sense they were born with. Anyway, if you want to know the details...
It wouldn't by... I heard that...
As my old grandma used to say, the truth always comes out in the end. Anyway, if you want to know the details, ask him yourself.
So, what comes next?
We're just getting something big ready. We'll make camp in the north of Broder Woods. There's a concealed glade, and that's where you'll find us.
All right, I'll meet you there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't go any further. The current could sweep me to my death.
Yeah. My God, what happened to you? You look like you've been assaulted.
A fellow from Talmberg claims he saw you poaching. What do you have to say about that? Can you hear me? Don't you have anything to say to me about that?
I'm not a poacher.
That's not what I've heard.
But I'm not a poacher, though.
Did your friends tell you the penalty for poaching?
No.
No? Of course not. Because if you knew, you'd never have been foolish enough to get involved.
I'm no poacher.
No, of course not. You're the Pope in disguise.
What?
No, never mind. But just so you know, the local custom is to string poachers up.
I don't want to hang.
No? Then you better make sure they won't hang you.
How?
For a start, by telling me where I can find your merry band of poachers. Because maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I don't think you're the leader.
No, I'm not.
So, out with it.
They only take me along from time to time.
All right. But you know where I can find them, don't you?
Aye.
And where is that?
The clearing.
They meet in a clearing.
They camp there.
And where is the clearing?
A short walk from here.
Oh, Lord. A short walk where? Do you know how many clearings there are in these woods?
No. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, my God. Where is the clearing they camp in? How do I get there?
Along the trail, from the huntsman's lodge. Go into the wood by the big broken tree, eastward.
Very well. I hope I can find it.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God save you.
There's more.
Well,
I found.
well, that's at least.
In fact, not all that far from here. In a glade not far from your lodge.
I see. They chose that place to mock me. I might have known.
But now we can finally nab them, right?
We can. Go to the castle and tell Captain Robard to send some men with you.
Wait, you're not coming?
I have a lot of work to do.
Of course you do.
See you later.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God's
I'd like to buy something.
God be with you.
Can we do... What do you...
It'll Aye, that
God be with you.
I've been sent by Captain Bernard. He says you have Cuman marauders here.
Ah, so it was you Bernard was speaking of. Well, the Cumans are marauding, that's for sure. So Divish did declare a decent reward for taking the bastards down. But we've not had cause to pay out to anyone so far.
Is that because the locals are too frightened?
No, they're more than willing to try. It's just they don't seem to make it back again. But don't let me put you off. We do know of one camp. Along the road to Neuhof, hidden between the cliffs. I'll pay you your reward if you can bring me proof you've killed the camp leader. They wear peculiar helmets with a face mask of sorts. Easy to recognize.
All right, I'll see to it. I've come about the poachers, sir.
Oh, so you're the one Nicholas was talking about. All right. I'll send some of my men with you. Are you ready to set off?
No, I have to see a couple of things first.
Then hurry up. It won't be long before they scatter into the wood.
I've come up...
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Hanekinheer of Zalush, I arrest you in the name of Lord Divish of Talmberg.
The Master Huntsman is not coming?
The Master Huntsman arrests poachers, not murderers. Will you come quietly?
What do you say, man?
Well now, look what's come crawling out from under some rock.
Ale dobra dala.
Well,
That's the end of you. What are you doing? Tired of life, are you? Ha!
Hold on. I'm asking you to hear me out.
Why should I listen to you?
Because if you care...
Anyone can say that.
And that's precise...
Let me get...
I wouldn't presume.
I've no...
Let me introduce...
The noble.
My... There... The...
What?
But... She... What? I'm a... Well...
And how...
All right, my...
What?
What? I'm a...
And
how... My...
I think... Even...
I'm not...
Nah, words are...
Then I'm afraid...
Way off. Yeah. Is that all you... Here! Oh, I'm over here. Blood will be spilt.
Good work, Henry. We've cut off the head of the serpent. I don't believe the poachers will be troubling us any longer.
Well, I have a feeling this wasn't entirely about poachers.
Maybe so, maybe not. but no one benefits from digging up the past. Anyway, I do know how to show my gratitude. Here's your reward, and stop by any time you need to. You'll always find work here.
Thanks.
You there! Stop! Who's there?
Hey, you! Halt! Surrender! You'll have to answer for your law break. You were seen. You should have thought.
Just look.
Well, ah! Ah! Hey. What? What's with you? Ow! Whoa! I'm gonna enjoy this. Ah, now up. Well, you won't forget.
Just look.
But hey. Ow. Ugh. Ugh. What are you doing here?
Jesus Christ.
Get lost, or you'll have
Take
me
care.
to reckon with.
God save Henry.
What the?
Hey, who's there?